Hi, this is my August book haul. I bought a couple of books, I think 3 or 4 this month, and then I was also sent some books by Penguin, so let's go. First of all, my brother came to visit me from the Netherlands and I asked him to bring along a book, and it is Koning van Katoren, or The King of Katoren, which is one of my favorite childhood books. Once again, it has like a really cool map in the front. It's a children's book and it's about the kingdom of Katoren, where the king has died and the ministers have taken over. This boy goes to the ministers and says, I want to become king. So they give him 7 assignments and he has to go through the kingdom and solve 7 problems that the people in the kingdom are dealing with. It's a lot of Dutch kids' favorite book, and I really just wanted to reread it and add it to my collection. Then I got a book from Rosanna because she had 2 copies, and it is Alexa Chung's It. I've been looking at this for a really long time. I love Alexa Chung. I think Rosanna described it sort of as a combination of Tumblr and a journal. I'm really interested to see what's in here. Then recently I was talking about Jane Eyre quite a lot, and lots of you were recommending this book to me, Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, which you guys said was similar to Jane Eyre but also just really good. About a girl called Rebecca who's working as a lady's companion, and then she gets swept off her feet and proposed to by a man, and she gets married, and then when they are married she kind of gets to see his darker side. It's gothic fiction, it's supposed to be really creepy, and obviously this edition is absolutely beautiful. 2 weeks ago I went to the launch event of Broken Monsters by Lauren Beukes, where we got to do a personality test. Apparently I am a chainsaw cannibal with a taste for meat and wearing other people's skin. That was based on an analysis of my tweets. This book is really creepy. The author read some of the first chapter. It is set in Detroit and it follows, I think, a detective, and it's just really freaking disturbing. So I'll have to see when I'm in the mood for some really creepy murders. Then I heard about the Penguin Journeys project that's going on this summer. Basically, Penguin is doing kind of recommendations based on journeys and holidays. For example, they've been tweeting recommendations for what Hazel and Augustus would have been able to read on their flight to Amsterdam. And then they're also talking about books that are set in different countries or books that chronicle journeys. If you want to find out more about this, you can check out the hashtag Penguin Journeys on, I think, Instagram and Twitter, and I bet in some other places as well. So I got sent a package with some books related to this. I think some of them just happen to be a specific length for a specific journey that they've been recommending. So the first one is one that actually got recommended to me at Summer in the City, and it is The Secret Garden, which is about a girl who kind of doesn't have the most pleasant life, and then she discovers this really special garden. I'm pretty sure this is kind of a children's book, but definitely classic, and I've heard loads and loads about this. Then I have the Penguin English Library edition of Kim by Kipling, which is on my back to university reading list, and I think this is part of the package because it is set in India, and it is the coming of age story of a boy who is traveling together with a priest. Then I have Quiet by Susan Cain. This was actually published by Penguin while I was interning there, and this is about people who are kind of quiet or introverted. But then of course when you're thinking traveling, you're thinking On the Road by Jack Kerouac in the beautiful Penguin Modern Classics edition. I actually saw the original scroll when it was at the British Library, which was so cool. Then finally they were also promoting audiobooks, because that's obviously great for traveling, although I listen to audiobooks when I go to the gym. It is the 50th anniversary of To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, so I was sent this audiobook. I haven't listened to a lot of audiobooks yet, so I haven't quite figured out the system of how it's easiest to do. Like, obviously I could listen to this on my laptop because it's CDs, but I'll probably put it on my phone and listen to it while I'm walking to work. And then finally we have a little bit more Penguin, and it is the Penguin Essential Reads collection, which I'm a huge fan of, and I already own 2 of them. I already own Mrs. Dalloway and 3 Men in a Boat, and I love that they're so compact. First of all, there is a new edition of The Day of the Triffids, one of my favorite books of all time. Love these illustrations, so beautiful. I can't imagine that you don't know what this is about yet because I've talked about it so many times, but apocalyptic novel about everyone going blind except for a couple of people, including the main character. There's these weird plants that everyone has in their garden, and because everyone's blind, these plants are slowly getting the advantage, and they're even, you know, getting out of the earth and kind of walking around and stinging people. Such like beautiful kind of bleak writing, absolutely love it. And I would highly recommend it. I realized that I kind of requested a bunch of really dark, depressing novels, so this is The Big Sleep by Raymond Chandler, which is apparently about a really well-dressed private detective who thinks he kind of has picked up on a really straightforward job but just ends up in the middle of all the stuff he shouldn't be in the middle of, which means up to his neck in hoodlums and corpses. Then we have I'm the King of the Castle by Susan Hill, also apparently really dark. It's about a man and his 10-year-old boy who live in this abandoned mansion that's falling apart, and then the maid or cleaning lady moves in with them who also has a younger boy, and it's about the relationship between these young boys. And then finally we have what will be my second F. Scott Fitzgerald, Tender is the Night. And you know, as you might expect from F. Scott Fitzgerald, it's about a couple living in a villa on the French Riviera and everyone loves them and everyone wants to be them. I think a young woman falls in love with the husband and everything starts to fall apart. Now, if any of those last Penguin Essentials sounded like something you wanted to read, this is your lucky day because I get to give one set of these away. And so if you're interested in getting these, you can head over to my Instagram, which is just instagram.com/booksandquills. There will be a picture of these books. All you need to do is like the picture and leave a comment, and then in a week's time I will pick a winner. As usual, of course, the titles and links and everything you might want will be in the description. I hope you guys enjoyed this haul. If you've read any of these books, let me know what you thought, and I'll talk to you guys later. Doei!